Hi everybody, it's Carla. Welcome to the Happy Bookmaker. And we are going to work today on the France and Flowers Red Toile Junk Journal. And I think from here on out, I'm just going to call it Red Toile because it's a long title. So here's our Red Toile. I hope you're having a great day. It's a beautiful, still spring day here. It's a little overcast. We might get some rain later, which I love. But if you see this on Friday, the day that it comes out, happy Friday. So before we start on this, I just wanted to again mention and thank you guys for watching, for liking, subscribing, and the comments, wonderful comments and tips. I love when you guys leave tips because I think we all have something to bring to the game, right? Or bring to the table, I guess. So if I forget to mention your tip, I apologize. You know, I don't know. I'm in my 60s. I forget things sometimes. So a few of the very latest ones were about, and I'm sorry I can't remember your name, dear, but covering the junk journal and so that the, like a cereal box, so that it doesn't come through the image. And I put white paper over it. Now, both of my fabrics are very light, so I kind of needed to do that anyway. But she said a really good tip was to like flip that cereal box inside out so that the image was on the inside. And depending on the thickness of your fabric or paper, you know, you probably won't need to cover it with like white paper. And that's a great tip. There was another one about, I talked about in the last video how my my digital prints, after I printed them and sprayed them with coffee like I always do, this time they just all turned out like green and pink. And this is definitely blue. It was printed in color, but for some reason, and I think it had to be the coffee this time, and I don't know why, but I better figure that out. You know, that it turned like all weird, and it has never done that before. But she said that also remember that printing in grayscale could make your inks look a little bit greenish, and that totally makes sense to me. So that is really something to keep in mind. From here on out, I'll probably dye my paper first and run it through the printer like I showed on in the last video. So just another thing to keep in mind. And then, what was the last one? Oh, Janet. I remember her name because I just read it today. So she mentioned that the, let me go into this. These black envelopes, and let's see, where is that one? It was a black letter and a black envelope that she thought that they might be like death letters, like maybe to notify people or family members of a death or something. And that makes total sense. Why can't I find that envelope? Okay, so, and she thought these might go together. And, you know, I at first thought they might go together too, because it looks like it fits in there, right? But this is 1933 and this is 1947. I thought it was 45. So these don't go together, but I think she's right that, you know, that totally could be what these are. And I love, you know, the history of that, you know, and I can't really tell. Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't read French, but that is a great, you know, kind of a fun little note to keep mind of. But I love these. So anyway, so today I'm going to try something a little different. It might seem a little kitschy, a little gimmicky, but we're going to try it because I think it'll be fun. And let me find our little page that we're going to work on. Okay, so I have this idea, this brilliant idea, hopefully, of creating a little pop-up in this book. Now, it isn't going to be like, you know, three-dimensional origami. Don't expect anything like that. It's going to be a simple little pop-up, and this is just like a little test thing that I did of the Eiffel Tower. So this is how I kind of decided how I wanted to do it. And I'm just gonna like glue it down. We're gonna cut around another image to go over it to cover up these little tabs. And, you know, like when it opens up, it can lay flat, but when it opens up, it'll kind of pop up, and it might need a little bit of extra help there. But I think it's gonna be really fun to do. So let's get started with that. So here's my little image that I printed off from Graphics Fairy. So I just went in there, and these are free images, and you just can go into the little search bar and type in whatever image you're looking for. Like I typed in Eiffel Tower and it came up with this whole wonderful page of images, and I'm using a few of those throughout the book. But I printed it on a lightweight cardstock. This is very, it's kind of a precarious thing because it's very thin, but I'm thinking unless somebody is on this page every single day, flipping this back and forth, I think we're going to be good. I think it's going to be fine. And for the background, I wanted to do some kind of like a street map, or yeah, I guess it would be like a street map of Paris. And see, this says Eiffel Tower. So I just went into Google Maps on my phone. I'm pretty sure it was Google Maps. And I did Paris, and I kind of zoomed in, and then I did a screenshot on my phone and then sent it to the printer. So, and I did print this on the coffee dyed papers. So I didn't trim this one because I knew I was going to be cutting it off, but I would probably take off my battery, the amount of my battery and the time. I would have trimmed that, but I knew I was going to cut it. So that's going to be the background. I think I'm going to tear it. And then we're going to lay down some flowers because I feel pretty certain that there are flowers, doesn't really show here, around the Eiffel Tower somewhere. And whether there are or not, we're going to do it. So I'm going to lay these down in some form or fashion here and like up in this area. And then our tower is going to go, it's going to lay down like that. And on the other side, I'm going to keep it pretty simple for journaling, but I'm going to do a couple of just little pockets to stick goodies into. I don't know, I might put them here. I might put them here. I don't know. I always try to think of what's easier when somebody wants to write, like what side of the paper. Honestly, it's probably easier to write over here. So I'm going to do that. This is one piece of my French show and tell ephemera that I received, and I think it's, like I said, just a little handmade. Oh, I see. It's kind of it's kind of perforated there. I could take it out, but I'm going to leave it as it is and put that in a pocket for one thing. And as I always say, this is the first pass. I always like to go through and add more goodies. I have to like think about it for a while or just let it set and then go back and play with it. So, okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of inking very carefully on the outside of our Eiffel Tower, just to cover up these little, like the little white edges a little bit. This is, I don't think I'm going to get that in there. I'll just pretend it's going in there. Okay. Don't bend on me. And I guess I could go over the back a little. I can't imagine anyone is going to like turn it upside down and look at the back, but you never know. So we'll just kind of go over the back of it. And this is going to be, we're going to figure out how to do that. Under this paper, I'm going to cut a slit in here so that this sticks up through so that you can't see our little tab. And so there's that. And yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, well, let's do a little inking around here because a little bit of it might show because I'm going to be ripping that paper. We'll just be safe rather than sorry, and we'll do it ahead of time. It's easier. Of my favorite vintage photo. I am loving the way this book is turning out. And I think my next one, I did another France and Flowers. Part 1, I call it. I might change the name of it because I kind of like that this is Red Toile, so I might name that one Waverly Blue because it's a Waverly fabric and it's really pretty. So let's do that. Okay, so we're gonna glue this down. I have to kind of make sure that I'm putting this in the right spot. I want that to come off. let's see, this is going to be somewhere down here. I guess somewhere sort of in the middle. Yeah. So that, yeah, that makes sense. So I'm just going to glue it with Fabri-Tac or Fabri-Fix or whatever you like. I want this to be pretty sturdy, so I'm going to use this glue. I'm telling you, this stuff, I don't know, it'll stick anything together. Very hard on the nails though. If you get it on your nails, don't even think about getting it off. And I also want to make sure that when it's laying down, it doesn't come past the top of the page. So I think this will be good. And I'll give this a little bone folder action here. And it's okay that it's not going to stick all the way flat down because we want it when the page is open to be up a little bit. So now, okay. So now I got to kind of figure out, how long of a slit we need here. And I'm going to have to measure, and it's going to be about 2 3/4 inches because I'm going to, you know, slip this right over to cover this up. And where is that little guy? 2 3/4 inches, and I think I'll put it right down here. It's kind of 2 3/4, 2 3/4, kind of in the middle of the page. And it shows that I recently viewed this because I did it like a few times. So I think I'm going to cover that up because, well, actually it's not going to be covered up because it's going to go over the slit, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. All right. Okay, so I'm cutting a nice little slit. Maybe we'll go just a little bit bigger just in case. Okay, I don't know. I haven't tried this before. We'll see. I just want to make sure this fits before I cut the paper. Let's stick this through here. Look at that. It looks like it's coming out of nowhere. I think, well, no, I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so how can I kind of want to make a mark because we're going to like rip around. And it's okay if it doesn't go all the way to the edges because it's going to be ripped anyway. Take it, paper up. Okay, all right. So move this out of the way. And just start, I guess I'm just going to start ripping. I could have just like covered the whole thing with the map, but I don't know. I just like the idea of it being kind of like an old map, you know, would be maybe a little roughed up, a little torn. And I just don't want it to be that perfect. And then we're going to do some inking around it. And this, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this page showing through. It's a perfectly good back side of an image, digital image, so I like that. And let's see here. This was such a fun thing to kind of, I'm going to save this, by the way. I'm going to use that for something. This was so fun, kind of fun to figure out. Like, I had to put on my thinking cap a little bit. And I did look up, like, how to do an actual pop-up, like a 3D. And I looked up directions. And frankly, it kind of gave me a headache. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that. It's just, I don't need it to be that fancy. Like if this was like a special greeting card or something, I could totally see putting in the work to do that, but we're not gonna do that today. Okay, so let's ink her up. Love the way this is turning out. And also when I printed this, I printed this not in color, in black and white, because I didn't want the colors of the map, because, you know, it was like in reds and blues and, you know, like any map would be, reds and blues and greens and yellows and whatever. So I wanted this to be kind of a neutral background, so printed it in black and white, which is pretty easy. You know, if you wanted to do that on your computer, you could do the same thing. You could go to maps on your computer, some sort of map application, and print it out. I just happen to be able to print from my phone. Oh my gosh, I love the way that looks. Okay, all right. Now we gotta back up. We're gonna do some glue on here. Like that. And luckily for you, I did all the thinking beforehand. So you didn't have to watch me make silly little templates and stuff, which I did about 3 of them before I figured out how I wanted it to work. And then I think I had to print 3 of the Eiffel Towers to get the right size, but that's okay. I will use them. I will definitely use everything. Okay, now I got to get this over our Eiffel Tower without getting glue all over it. Can I do it? Can I do it? Let's see here. There's the top. Come on, little guy. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Move over a little, move down a little. Oh, come on, don't stick yet. Don't stick yet. Yeah, it's already wanting to stick. Okay. Because it's such good glue. Okay. Yeah, actually that's good because it even gives it a little bit more stability. So, oh, look at that. I love it. I love it. Let's see if I can, I wonder, can I get a little spot of glue back here? I don't think it's going anywhere, but just to give it a little bit more stability back here. I can feel I'm almost at the need for a wet wipe here on my fingers. Okay. Oh my gosh. Here, hold it like this. I love it. Okay. These images are from a book of perennials. Let's see. Oops. So this one I had already kind of decided to lay somewhere in this area. So you see a lot of the map is going to be covered actually. And I guess it looks like I already kind of started. I guess I got impatient. I did a little inking. Sometimes as I'm preparing things, I forget that I'm going to be working on it. And I just, you know, just like la 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 la, and I start doing things. And then I remember, oh, stop. You got to do that later. Okay. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to just kind of make a mark of where I want them to stand upright like this. And I'm just going to kind of bend because it will have to. I do want it, I think, to go straight at the bottom. And we're just going to cut it off. Let's give it a little, where did I do with my bone folder? I literally just had it. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Okay. And there's that. And I think we'll cut it with, it's hard to see the line. We'll cut it with the sharp edge here. The utility knife, rather. Well, it is a sharp edge. And cut yourself. All right. I wonder if I can use that somewhere. Okay. I like to use it up. Use it all up. A little distressing on the back or on the bottom. Yeah. Okay. And we're going to glue that down right here. I also like to be careful of not getting too close to the signature holes, you know, so that it doesn't sort of impede, and I think we're good there. It is sticking out a tad, but I'm good with that. I like to have some things sticking out of the pages and the signatures. And this is kind of, this is going to be a thick page because I've got 2 layers of paper. I've got this little guy. This is, you know, this is like heavier from the book. You know, it's just a little bit heavier paper, but I think that that's okay. It's going to make the whole thing a little sturdier. Oh, scoot you up a little. Okay. There's that so far. Yeah. Okay, and then on the top, let's see, what had I, see, I've got this little piece that is from, well, I could do that. I could, oh, I kind of like that actually. Now, does that mean they're upside down? I can't really tell. I don't think you'd really know. I was gonna do this, but I think I'm gonna do this because I like the way it kind of frames the corner. Or, no, because that would definitely be sideways. Okay. I really can't tell which direction. Oh yeah, that's going up. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. That was impromptu. I didn't plan to use this, but why not? And I'll definitely use that other piece somehow, somewhere. Okay. And go in with our glue. I thought about trying to put like a little pocket back there, but I don't want it to get, you know, so thick that this can't kind of lay flat. I guess it would have been okay. I don't know, maybe I should have done that, but I'm gonna have pockets here, so we're good. We don't have to have pockets everywhere. They're nice to have, but I mean, honestly, you could even journal over here if you wanted to. You can journal everywhere. And maybe later I will stick an extra little mini notebook in here just for a little extra space. But like I said, we do have a lot of this. Look at that. Is that it? Oh no, I lost page. Ah, and he pops right up. Okay, we got our Eiffel Tower page done. Okay, so let me cut these little guys. Now, scissors, okay. I do a little inking around them. I think I will do a few little stamped images on this page as well, just to kind of punch it up a little bit. I could probably do one there. You know, I don't have a ton of stamps, and I don't know. There's a bunch that I'm kind of looking for. Like, I like script type of stamps and things like that. And it seems like they're always out, or if they have them, you know, I try to get them on sale, and they're so expensive. So I just kind of pick them up when I find things on sale. I picked up a little bag of them one day at the Arc thrift store. And, you know, there are always some in there that you probably will never use, but for the price of the little package, it's a pretty good deal. So, go over here. Well, this really came together pretty quickly, I think. And we're gonna do a little inking. This is pretty thin. I thought about double backing it, but I mean, you're not gonna get much in there anyway, so I think it's gonna be perfectly fine. It's not like it's gonna get a lot of wear and tear. And you never know, we might eventually do like a little paper clip up here too. I don't know if I'm going to do that today, but we'll come back in, like I said, with our final decorations. Okay, now, and the reason I kind of went with these, and again, these are those little tiny botanical prints, digital images, but I like how it's pulling in the reds and the pinks. So I like the way that looks. Let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, wait, okay, yeah, over here, okay. Make sure I don't cover up the pocket. I'm gonna put them like one at the top, sort of. I got a little extra glue there, that's okay. And let's see here, I just wanna make sure that, yeah, that's gonna be good. And then I put this one down here, not upside down. And then, yeah, and then we got a little bit of a gap in there. I don't know why my mind isn't working right. I only have one coffee capsule left until my order comes. So I'm kind of like, I don't know if I've had enough coffee because I'm trying to, like, you know, save them so I can at least have one a day. I have a Virtuo, an espresso Virtuo, and espresso, I love it. I'm addicted to it. I love it. Okay, there's that. Okay, can we come up with, let's put this little guy in here. Can we come up with a couple of stamps? Let's see, what would be good with that? I kind of like this little lavender. And yeah, I probably will have to use these more than once in the book. Where should I put him? I kind of like this up here. Oh, this little guy's getting in the way. I have to take him off. Oh, it's pretty. It just kind of overlaps a little bit. And then maybe over here, let's see, kind of like this little guy. It's, I guess it's a daisy or a sunflower. What else do we have? I should have dug out more flowers. I do have more flowers. I have a little ticket. I have a little tulip. Oh, that kind of fits in, doesn't it? I kind of like that. Where should we put him? I'll take you out for a minute. Put a little tulip here. Maybe let's do a few tulips. You can't ever have too many tulips. Ta-da! Yeah, I like that. Okay. And I will probably, well, I will come up with more ephemera goodies to stick in these pockets later on. But yeah, that's how that's looking so far. How cute is that? I love it. I love it. Okay. All right. Yay. I'm glad it worked out. I was kind of sweating a little. Is my pop-up going to work? Is it going to pop up? And I think it will. Okay. So the next one, let's see. Let's do this little guy. Lay down. You might have to, you got to kind of push it to go down again, but that's okay. And I did sticky note to help me out a little. Okay. So I kind of decided to do this one next because I already have, you know, the backside of this embellished paper clip. So why not go with that and kind of play off of that? And again, let's do, I'm going to take this off for right now. I'm going to lose that. Okay. And do a little bit of inking around the page. And this is going to be cool because, you know, there's this image on this side. And on the back side, it's kind of showing through. And it almost looks a little bit pinky. And I love the subtlety of that. So this will be a really good page for journaling or whatever, you know, stick a picture in there, whatever you want to do. You know, that's the beauty with a junk journal or even an art journal is that you put whatever you want in them. There's no rules, no rules. Okay. And I think what we're gonna do is, I know I do these a lot, but it's kind of my thing. I'm gonna do this little botanical image from, I think it was Barbara Everhard's book, I think. And but I'm gonna make this into a pocket this time. So I am going to ink it up. I'm gonna glue it down along the edges and, you know, leave it open here. And I've got a couple fun things to stick in there. So now let's see if I can do this. Cut it off kind of straight here. Let's see. Let's see. Well, I didn't do the right angle there, did I? Okay. So I need to just trim off a little more. I got off on my angle. Okay, that's okay. I don't have a tool to tell me the angle, so I just gotta eyeball it. Okay, that's perfectly fine. All right. Okay, inking. Just to give it a little bit of, just sets it apart from the page. And this might actually be from that other book, Macmillan. I'm not sure. I mean, they're very similar images. I think this might be from Macmillan Book of Flowers, actually. They seem to be a little more like maybe faded, not really faded, but not as bright of an image. And I think I mentioned that I got those books really reasonably, and they're a plethora of resources for botanicals. Okay. Yeah, okay. So let's see how we can do this. I gotta make sure. See, I think I could actually put glue over this part of it. Okay, we'll see. Because I also don't want it to be like, you know, I want a pocket, but I don't want it to be like flip-flopping around in the book. So I'm gonna come down just a little bit. There's just like a nice, if you can see it, it's probably hard to see, a nice little stream of glue. And I'm trying to get it over to the edge as far as I can to leave room to stick a couple of items. So really fun little items. Yeah, look at that. Pocket. Should I glue that down? Yeah, I think I will. I think it might be a little flimsy not to glue down. Oop, glue. Okay. Yeah, because this is plenty big for a pocket. Okay. All right, there's that. Now this was one of those images I told you about that I printed from Graphics Fairy. And it was a digital image of a photograph. And I thought, well, why not print it on photo paper, which I did. And then used my decal scissors, because in the image, it even shows, you know, it's like deckled, like an old photograph. And then I did a little inking. And the only thing really that gives it away, because I think this looks really authentic, is that it says Canon on the back. That's a little giveaway, but that's okay. I don't mind that. It's maybe a little bit more. I mean, not all of these are like, you know, really aged up. I wonder if I have handy an authentic one so you can kind of see the difference. Let me see. I was kind of impressed. Yeah, I don't have one handy, so I don't want to waste the time to look, but obviously it looks pretty good. So we're going to pop that in there. And I like it because you can still pretty much see the whole image of the Eiffel Tower. And then we've got this digital image that I aged up of some kind of a French ticket of some sort. Receipt. I guess it's a receipt. And I think I did this in my very first video, or for my very first video. So we're going to just pop this in. And I'm bringing this color in for a reason, and you'll see that pretty soon. And we can stick him, well, let's see. We can make him like pop up back there. I mean, it could be anywhere. Down here. Maybe I shouldn't have glued that down. Let's see here. It could also be on the embellished paper clip, and that might end up being the case. I think I got it a little more glued down than I wanted to, so that's why that's not going in there. Okay, so we'll decide what to do with that guy afterwards. I might put him over here. And this is another digital print postcard. I think I got, yeah, this was from Book and Paper Arts, and I'm pretty positive this was free. And it's Easter. I get that it's Easter, but the colors, like if you can see, you know, these kind of pastel-y pinks and greens, and so I brought in the yellow of the botanical over here, are just perfect, and it's going to be really pretty with the paper clip. So I'll just trim this off. And I just can't get enough of these postcards. Like, I don't even care that they're not actual postcards, you know, that they're prints, because I think they're lovely. And we're gonna, you know, this will also be, there will be room for journaling on the back of it. You know, I'll probably put just one little stamp back there, and it'll be appropriate for journaling. I found my sandpaper. I don't know why I had such a hard time with that. You know what? I'm gonna cut more of that black off because that is just the shadow of when the digital image was scanned, and we don't really want the shadow because that's really not the postcard. Okay, and this is where it gets really fun because I'm gonna ink afterwards, but you can see the difference. I don't know if you can. It looks like it's a little worn around the edges. On a dark one, it really, really shows up. And how are we doing time-wise? 35, not too shabby. Okay, not too bad. I try to prepare as much as I can to make these, and so you don't have to watch boring stuff. You know, I love that a lot of you answered my impromptu poll from Tuesday's video about, you know, the A, B, or C, and I won't go through the whole thing again, but A was you love to watch the process and follow along, and those are the only answers I got, so that's what I'm going with. I mean, not that I probably would do anything different anyway, because I don't know what I would do on the channel if I didn't do this. Like, you know, it might be kind of boring. So that's kind of the whole purpose. So a little vintage photo inking. And, oh, look how pretty she's looking. Just that little bit. Just really ages it up. I did forget to do a couple little tears here and there. I'll just do a couple, just to add a little authenticity. And I like to put a little bit of ink over those little rips. Yeah, and there she is. Okay, now, oh, let's do a stamp. Some kind of little stamp on the back. And I don't think I will do the postage image again. I need to get more of those. I love them, but I'm very tempted to do that. No, okay, let's do dragonfly. I mean, you know, dragonflies and butterflies, they certainly fit in with our flower theme, so we're going to do that. And there's still lots of room for journaling in here. So, okay, so we need our paper clip. And remember, we're going to stick this double-sided paper clip in between the two parts of the staple, not under the flappy part here. And, oh, I don't want to cover up her face, but let's see. Let me move it over. I don't want to cover her pretty face. Yeah, that'll be fine. And that's where this little guy might come in here. I think I'm going to stick him over here. And I will find something, you know, else to put in here. Obviously, there's plenty of room, oops, to put it in here. It just isn't going to show. I wonder if I left it long, how that would work. It's going to stick out the top. Which, I don't know. Actually, I like that. I think that'll work. I like it. Okay, and yeah, let's see. I guess that's all I had picked out for this right now because I want to, like I said, go back and add a few more goodies. But that's our second layout for today. I think it's really pretty. That was super easy. Oh, you know what? Now that I've done this, I do want to go back and do maybe a couple other stamps. I can't really tell what those flowers are, but I think that this, let's do the daisy. Let's do a daisy. Pretty sure that's a daisy. I mean, you know, and you can definitely journal over the daisy. Stick it down. Oh yeah, just a little subtle image. Pretty, very pretty. Okay, this one's done. Okay, let's look at, I want to look at our Eiffel Tower again. Where is it at? Where did he go? I'm obsessed with the Eiffel Tower. Oh my gosh. I love it. Okay, so the last one is going to be this guy. And again, I kind of went off of, since I have this paper clip, I'm going to kind of go off of that for the theme. And so we're going to have these reds and greens, and hopefully it won't look like Christmassy, you know, but a little inking. Let's do a little inking around this page. And see, this is one of those images that I squirted after, or I sprayed with coffee after printing. And I mean, it is green. It's a green image anyway, but, and you can see where in some places I got too much water. So we have these, but I kind of like it. I think that's fine. And how can I do this without, let's see. It's getting to where, like when there's something on the other side, I have to sort of be mindful of that. Just a little bit over this. And again, we have a big, beautiful page for journaling. We're going to have a pocket over here, and I'm going to have a journaling card as well. I just want to get this background done. Okay, better cover this up so it doesn't dry. Oh, see, I left my glue uncapped. Okay, so my thinking is, because I don't want to cover any of this, you know, this French script down below, I'm going to put a pocket up here. Let's see, I think I might put it way over on the edge. And I was going to use this previously, so it's already inked up. And again, this is coffee dyed image. And then I'm going to make a journal card out of this, which I think came from the same book as our Eiffel Tower flower images. It may have, because there's a bunch of these, like, they're like little cards. I think there's hundreds of them that you just flip over, and then, like, this is actually the description of the next card. I wish they had done it differently, because I kind of would have liked to have this description on the back, but that's okay. For what I'm using it for, this is fine. And then this is a cut off piece of my coffee dyed paper. So it's already going to be coffee dyed, and I'll have to cut this down a little bit, but it's going to stick on the back of that. So for right now, let's get this guy stuck down. Let's see. Yeah. I was going to make sure I'm not gluing down the pocket side. There's that. Get that nice and glued down. Okay. There's that. Okay. So now what I want to do is I'm just going to glue it down and then worry about trimming it. Actually, let's cut this off. I know I'm not going to have it that long. Okay. It is going to be trimmed again anyway, so that's fine. Okay. Should put the glue on here. And then this can, like I said, be a journaling card as well. I'm also going to round those corners. Give it a nice sort of, I could do an actual, I have a tag punch, but it will still look like a tag by the time I'm done here. And it has to be like an exact size to do the tag punch, which is fine. I will definitely be doing a bunch of those throughout the book. Oh boy, it just really wants to stick today. It's like you have no time. Get me down right away because you have no time today. Okay, because I pulled it up and probably pulled some of the glue off. Okay. There's that. Okay. All right. Yeah. Bone folder. We're going to trim off Oops. I'm gonna trim off this little edge. And we're going to trim off this little edge. Okay. And let's take our little corner rounder. I got this from Creative Memories years ago. I used to be a consultant for Creative Memories. I was just so into scrapbooking. But then it got to be that, like, you know, kind of took the fun out of it, you know, when it's like, well, I have to sell things now. It's not quite as much fun. And let's see, we're gonna go over this with a little inking, and this is gonna be our back side. I'll do a little stamp somewhere. And I love that it's kind of wrinkled on there. That just looks lovely and vintage. A little bit of this on the front, but I'm also gonna take, we're gonna zhuzh this up a little bit. Now, which side do you suppose is up? I think it might be like that. Okay, so I just want to tear, like, I'm just gonna, like, let's see. I'm just gonna, like, tear, oh, I chipped my polish. I'm just gonna tear a little corner here, just to have a little bit of interest. And I don't like that. Okay. I'm gonna tear it like that. Okay, a little ink here. Obviously, I'm gonna trim it off. I should have put this on first because now I have to trim the edge again. Okay, there's enough ink on here to do that. All right, now, let's see, whereabouts are we gonna land? I can just cut that off. Somewhere like this. Doesn't have to be exact. And I'm just gonna go like that. And as long as you have a nice right angle or right angles, then you can go in with your corner trimmer and trim it. Okay. Well, you know what? That's silly. Why don't I do it first? Okay. There's that. And, oops. Uh-oh. What am I doing? Okay. Okay. Now re-ink. If you do it in the right order, you don't have to do it as many times as I just did. Okay. Sometimes I'm thinking as I'm going and, you know, making things up as I go, so I gotta do things over. Okay. There's that. Yeah, I just think that that adds something. And we'll also do a little stamp of some sort on this guy. And on the back, let's do, how about these little greenery, these little leaves. I guess it's a little branch. Some leaves on it. Oh, pretty, pretty. Now I'm gonna put a little hole through there because I'm gonna put a little piece of raffia to pull it out of the pocket. Okay, and let's see, what should we put down here? Well, we could do, oh, sorry, I gotta reach over yet. We could do a pretty little flower of some sort. I kind of like that. Let's do that little guy. It's white, so it's neutral. It's not going to get in the way of anything. Okay, now let's take one of our hole punches. I think we can do the 1/8. If it's not big enough, I'll do a 1/4. Just punch a little hole. It is pretty small. Let's see here. And I have tons of raffia. Let's see here. We just want to make a little pull to go through there. Boy, that's going to be tough to get through that hole. Okay. Let's take these. Can I get them through there? Also, what you can do, like, especially, I think this is the size that you would use to do a little eyelet on here, which if I wanted to like pound and make a whole bunch of noise, I would probably do, but I don't want to put you through that. But like a pretty colored eyelet, maybe sometime I'll prepare that ahead of time so you don't have to hear me pounding with the hammer. It gets pretty loud. So we're gonna have our little, this is just gonna be our little pull tab to pull it out of the pocket. And I just love adding, you know, some natural elements like raffia. Just gives it a warmth, I think. You know, it's kind of like when we use the ink to age things up. It just adds a little warmth and a little natural element. Okay, yeah, I like that. Okay, and then cut that off. We got our little pull tab. Okay, there we go. So he's gonna go right in here like that. Okay, and then, oh, yeah. Okay, here's another, almost forgot about this. This is another image from Graphics Fairy, a digital postcard. So we're gonna do the same thing with this. We're gonna cut it up and age it a little bit. We're gonna sandpaper it. And it's gonna go under our little paper clip. And then I have a real pretty authentic piece of ephemera from my haul that we're gonna also stick in here. Probably gonna go under there. We'll say, oh, I don't wanna give it away. That's it right there. Okay, so sandpaper. Sand that little puppy. Get those edges. It's mostly for the edges that I like to do it. Just to like knock down, you know, knock down the sharpness of where I've cut it. Gosh, I hope I was in view that whole time. Sometimes I forget to look and see what's actually showing in the view. I apologize if I get out of view once in a while because I get so engrossed in what I'm doing, obviously. Okay, a little, oh, wait a minute. That's still pretty sharp. Let's get that down there. And a couple little rips here and there. Even give it a little couple folds because, you know, it's supposed to be an old postcard. And I did print this on cardstock so that it has more of a, you know, postcard feel. Because why not? And oh wow, I have some inking on the back. Cool. I didn't even remember doing that. I think it happened by accident, but it's a happy accident. So, all right. Yeah. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, a little bit here on this fold. Is she pretty? It's really pretty. I love it. Okay, so what image should we put? I always like to put something, some kind of stamp on the back. We have a postage thing on the front, so I don't want to do that again. What if I did this little guy, just put it like up in the corner? Because of course this could be used for journaling too. And I'll put it up here. It's kind of big, but that's okay. Oh, very pretty, very pretty. Okay. So before I do that, let's put something down here. Gosh, I hope this works out. I previously used paint on here, so we're gonna see how this works out. Because I like to do something like this at the bottom of the page. You know, and if some of the red comes through, I guess that would be fine, right? I did that. I used this on my art journal, and just used like the flower part at the bottom of a page, and I wanted the red. So I guess I need to, like, you know, wash it off one of these days. It may not come through. It might. We're gonna see. We are gonna see. Stick her down. Oh, pretty. It didn't come, the red didn't come through. It would have been fine if it did. So we just have a few little flowers on the bottom. Plenty of room for journaling. Let's put our little postcard under here. And then from our French haul, yeah, this is definitely like from a cookbook or something about cooking. This is souffle à l'orange, I'm sure. I don't know how to say that other word. Definitely some kind of cooking thing. So I'm gonna have to fold it up. I don't think it's particularly old, but it's got the reds, it's got the, you know, obviously it's in French. So we're gonna use it. And I'm gonna make sure that that red is visible from, and I'm not gonna like do the bone folder. I don't need to have a tight crease on that. And I think I'm gonna stick this little guy right in here so it pops out. And there we go. 3 beautiful layouts. Yay! Thanks, you guys. Again, thank you so much for watching, and, you know, and I said it before, subscribing, liking, commenting. I love it all. And have a wonderful rest of the day. And I will see you next time. Bye.